The Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year without a traditional number one receiver, a guy who stretches the field, commands double coverage, gives defensive coordinators nightmares as they prepare for the next game against that team. Now, they've had Kadarius Toney there because they picked him up in October of last year in a trade with the Giants. There's a chance he develops into the successor to Tyreek Hill. Here's Brett Veach, GM of the team, talking about the potential limit, if there is one, to Kadarius Toney's game.
You know, everyone knows about Kadarius and how talented he is. And, you know, Kadarius can do anything on the field. He can line up inside, outside, running back, quarterback. I mean, he can do it all. He was quarterback back in his day. So, again, we just like to put talent out in the field. And coach will find ways to put these guys in different positions and different formations and different sets.
And look, he said more than that, too. Basically, they understand that he hasn't been used necessarily in a vertical field stretching way, either at Florida or with the Giants.
Yeah, right.
You get him to the point where, remember when Antonio Brown left the Steelers and they tried to make Juju Smith-Schuster the number one receiver until they realized he's not fast enough to be a number one receiver. You have to be fast enough to get the safety to shade over.
Exactly.
To be that guy that just causes consternation for the defenses. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? That's what you need to be a number one guy. And here's my concern, Chris.
Yeah.
If he becomes that guy who does what Tyreek Hill used to do, is that good or bad for the Chiefs?
Well,
because remember, one of the concerns was Mahomes holds the ball too long waiting for the guy to get open deep.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, now, listen, it's not Tyreek Hill's speed, right? This guy's fast. He's got a shiftier element than Tyreek Hill and the ability to break your ankles and make you miss and look silly that way as compared to Tyreek Hill. But, you know, hopefully this year, to your point of what you're saying, they're taught Mahomes, hey, wait, me by committee is damn good. And by committee and me just doing the right things at the quarterback position, everybody gets the ball and we win games. And coach will dial up enough plays to where a guy like Kadarius will be number one on my radar a lot. I think hopefully there was a learning process of that this year. But Toney is superstar talent, to your point, Mike. I mean, it was as we saw with the punt return, the touchdowns, right? I mean, this is a guy that, the Giants, I think, saw a lot of the talent, too. It was just injuries and maybe not the right personality mix. But the Chiefs are magical that way. They can bring personalities in, and it's the Mahomes factor and Travis Kelce and everything to go along with it. They got a potentially very, very good receiving core there in Kansas City with some of these guys they got on the roster now.
We talk all the time about Andy Reid and how he's a great quarterback whisperer. I mean, I think he's a guy who can speak to a player who maybe didn't fit somewhere else, or there's some issue, there's some problem. I mean, I don't know what it is, but he's got the right touch where he gets the most out of guys who maybe had issues elsewhere. And there's something that was clearly wrong in New York.
Something.
For Kadarius Toney.
Right.
Whether it was a Joe Judge thing, I don't know. But something got that relationship off on the wrong foot, and they were unable to get it back where it needed to be, even with a new GM and a new head coach last year. So they decided to move on, and it worked out perfectly. Super Bowl win in his first year in Kansas City, and now the opportunity to be the number one guy and the contract that would go along with it after year 3 of his first-round contract, which is only going to pay him like $1.9 million. He'll unlock some significant riches for himself if he becomes that number one guy in Kansas City. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.